Students, are my slides visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So, public speaking. What is this public speaking? So, even in the previous class that we have already discussed, public speaking, the main thing for speaking skills. So, what is speaking skills? What is the important speaking skills? What are the essentials of speaking skills? So, these things we have already discussed in our past class. Public speaking means by having a particular purpose addressing a group of people is called as public speaking. In this public speaking, mainly we have to follow organization of our presentation or organization of our speech. Before we are going to give a presentation, we must fix the purpose. We must fix the purpose behind our presentations. People, they are going to have their own purposes. The purpose is going to depend upon the chosen topic or the chosen situation. Some will present their presentation on the purpose of. Could you please mute your mics, all of you? Do not disturb the class.
Madam.
My voice is disturbing.
Yes, madam.
Breaking.
Yes, madam.
Still is it in the same manner?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please give me a minute. So is it clear now? Is my voice clear?
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Let us continue. Right? So before we are going to present our oral presentation or before we are going to express our intention, it must contains a purpose. So some people, they'll give their presentations depends upon providing the information. Depends upon the manner or depends upon the purpose of providing the information. So whether we are going to inform about something or whether we are going to entertain with our presentation or whether we are going to persuade means so trying to increase the knowledge levels by keep on making arguments with others means making others to convince within the manner of augmentation. So this is called as persuade. So what is our purpose to give our oral presentation? Is it a persuading? So for persuading purpose also we can provide our oral presentation. Some will provide their presentation for the purpose of providing information, for the purpose of persuade, for the purpose of entertain. Yes, for the purpose of entertainment or to provide entertainment also, we can give our oral presentations or public speeches. So stand-up comedies or giving any political speeches. So such kind of things will comes under in this manner of provide the purpose of entertaining, giving our presentations for the purpose of entertaining. And to encourage, see some motivative speeches. If you are trying to listen or if you are trying to observe, some people will provide some motivational speeches. So these examples will comes under to encourage. To encourage others, we may give oral presentations. So based upon the purpose, we have to fix the situation to provide or to present our oral presentations or public speeches. Right. So that is organization of our speech. So before we are going to organize, we must fix the purpose or situation behind our presentation. See, so by following these methods, we can strengthen our oral presentations. So to strengthen our oral presentations, what are the methods we must follow? If you watch on these slides, you can be able to understand First thing is you must understand your audience. Know your audience means trying to understand the capacity and capability of your audience listening ability and understanding ability, whether they are critical listeners or whether they are passive listeners, whether they are active listeners, non-listeners, right? So different kinds of listeners that we have already learned. By keeping these different kinds of listeners in our brain, we must be able to analyze audience listening capacity. To know your audience are going to come under which category. You must be able to analyze them. Based on their capacity or based on their receiving abilities, you can be able to provide your presentations. If your listeners are critical listeners, or if your listeners are non-listeners, if you have provided your oral presentation with an impactful manner, also it is not going to be successful. So that based on your audience listening capacity, it is better to plan your presentation. So before you are going to present in front of a group of people, you better to know about your audience. Try to analyze your audience. Next, be an expert on your topic. Before you are going to speak, you must be able to collect the whole information regarding your chosen topic. See, half knowledge or a lack of knowledge, you should not be able to contain. So whatever you are going to speak or whatever you are going to present, you must maintain a flow of knowledge, a vast knowledge. If your audience are going to pose you any questions, if they are going to have any queries regarding this topic, you must be able to answer in such a manner in all the corners, in all the areas. You must be able to maintain a complete information, a complete knowledge before you are going to speak in front of people. You better to maintain a complete knowledge on your topic. So collect the information and try to understand it and try to search it and think in a deep manner and increase your knowledge levels, then you'll be good at your topic. You'll be expert on your topic. Okay, so before you are going to present it, you must be an expert on your topic. Next, accentuate positive. Accentuate positive means you must be able to provide a complete information in all the areas which are related to a particular topic which you have already chosen. Try to give a complete and a positive kind of thoughts and ideas about your chosen topic. First, know your audience and try to be an expert on your topic. Means you have to gain a complete information, a complete knowledge on your topic. And next, try to provide all the positive points on your chosen topic. Next, get comfortable with the environment. Before you are going to present your presentation or before you are going to address the people in public spaces, you better to adopt yourself, the surroundings of the environment. You must be able to adopt, you must be able to adjust the environment. Here, environment means may not be the climatic conditions, but here you have to try to mingle with the people. See, earlier we have already discussed that. So you must be amicable to your audience. Don't be rushed, don't be rash, don't be very stiff and very rude to your audience. So you must be amicable. So before you are going to present your presentation, you must be amicable to your audience. Try to adjust with the local environment wherever you are going to present it. Next, visualize your audience. So keep on giving your information in a theoretical manner. It is not good for your listeners. So listeners, they will become as monotonous. So monotonous, right? So in that case, you better to avoid a theoretical part of explanation, and by providing a lot of examples, relevant examples on your chosen topic, you just make your audience visualize the situations, visualize the points which you are explaining. So don't keep on mention theoretical points, and you just let them understand by visualization of those ideas and thoughts of speaker. Means thoughts of speaker means you, whatever you are going to explain, whatever you are going to mention, your ideas, your thoughts, and give visualized links. Visualized means examples, and by using visual aids or visual aids also, you can be able to make your audience understand very easily. So if you are able to follow these methods, definitely your oral presentation is going to be in strengthened. Next, if we see the steps, if you see the steps which we have to follow before we are going to present our oral presentation or public speeches, it will be very good. It will be very well to design your presentation. So what are the steps we must follow? So before we are going to present our oral presentation, the first step we must follow is planning our presentation. The first step is planning our presentation. Within this planning, again, three categories will come under. The first thing is analyze the situation. The first thing is analyze the situation. What is the requirement of your presentation? Whether you have a really requirement to present in front of people. What is your purpose? What is your what is your situation to present in front of a group or in front of a team? Okay, so these things you must keep in your brain, whether it is according to the situation, you must be able to plan your presentation. Next, purpose. Fix the purpose to your presentation. Yes, here situation is going to be the separate and purpose is going to be the separate. Here, my purpose is to deliver a presentation to increase the knowledge levels of my learners or listeners. So that here I am providing you information to increase your knowledge levels. Such like, what is your purpose behind your oral presentation? Why you have chosen that particular purpose? Why you have chosen that particular topic? It is related to what? Right. So these things will come under purpose of your presentation. Next, and do all the required or do all the necessary settings before you are going to present in front of group of people, in front of group of people. So what are those settings? There may be presentation settings, there may be preparation settings, there may be technical settings. Before you are going to present in front of group of people, you have to follow this, the particular purpose, the particular settings, and the particular situation of your presentation. So all these three will come under planning of your presentation. Next. See, if you see these steps, definitely you'll be able to understand what is the planning of a presentation. See, on the first box, if you are able to understand, analyze the situation. The same thing just before I have already explained. Analyze the situation. What is the situation to present your presentation? Next, gather the information. So before you are going to present or before you are going to speak on your topic, you must collect the information, gather the information, collect the information, right? About collecting information, we have already discussed a lot in our previous classes, how we should collect information, and we should divide it into three categories, right? So these three things, three categories, how to collect information. So how to collect consider the information. So these three categories that I have already designed on the note on design on the blackboard, and I have already explained much about this collecting information or gathering information. So before you are going to present or before you are going to plan a presentation, you must collect information, gather information. Next, select the medium, through which medium you would like to present your presentation, whether it is virtual manner or whether it is face-to-face communication, one-to-many communication, right? So you have to choose a proper medium to present your oral presentations. Next, organize the information. So after choosing the purpose and collecting the information, select the medium, you must be able to organize the information. What is this organization? Nothing, the structure of content. The organization of information means the structure of your content. Even this we have already discussed. A structure, always it contains introduction, body, and conclusion. A structure, proper structure is introduction of a content, body of the content, and conclusion. So what we must mention in introduction and what we must mention in body of the content, how we should conclude a topic, these things that we have already learned. So these are the 4 steps you must follow before you are going to plan your presentation. And planning presentation itself, in planning presentation, another part is collecting information. After collecting information, the most important thing that we have to do is practice. The first one is planning, the next one is practicing, the third one is presentation. If we don't do all these 3 things within a proper manner, definitely our presentation is going to be a failure. So first we should collect the information, necessity information, which can make our presentation strengthen, as well as after collection of the information, we must maintain enough practice. See, this proverb that we have already known, a practice makes the man perfect, means without practice, no one can become perfect. So in between planning and presentation, the most important thing is practice. Whatever the information we have collected, that we should keep in a proper structure, and we should make a oral presentation practice in front of our friends, in front of our neighbors, or in front of our family members. Otherwise, by taking the help of mirror,
Madam, voice break అవుతుంది
others
madam.
to listen to you.
Madam, voice break అవుతుంది madam.
Okay, right. Am I audible now?
Yes, madam.
Okay, okay, fine. Am I going fast? Are you able to follow?
Madam, వెళ్ళిపోతున్నారు madam. కొంచెం చిన్నగా చెప్పండి madam.
Speak in English, Anand.
Okay, madam. Madam, you are going fast, madam. Can you say slow, madam?
Okay, okay. I'll try to moderate my speed. Okay, fine.
Thank you, madam.
Right. So, in between preparation, in between planning and practice, we have to maintain enough practice. If we don't practice very well, definitely we are unable to present our presentation in a effective manner. It's not possible. Whenever we are going to have a good practice, definitely our presentation is going to be successful. So that before we are going to present, we must plan our presentation. In the part of planning, we must be able to collect the information. Whatever we have collected the information, that we have to keep in a proper structure. After keeping those ideas within a proper structure, we must be able to make a practice. Here, making practice means oral preparation. Oral preparation. Before we are going to face directly to the people, we must make ourselves habituate to the content. To becoming habituate to the content, how it is possible? By repeatedly by doing practice with your content, you will be able to habituate. You can go on very easy whenever you are going to present in front of the people after the practice of many times, or after the practice of at least few times. So see, whenever we are going to speaking about a particular topic, if it is first time, definitely we may face a lot of difficulties. When we are going to speak about a particular topic, if it is the first time, definitely we are going to face a lot of problems. In the same topic, if you are speaking for the second time, slightly you will be able to recognize the words, you'll be able to habituate to the words for the second time. And if you are repeating for the third time, definitely you may feel little bit easy with your sentences. Yes, these words I have known, about these words and these meaning of these words I have already known. After this word, I'll get some other word. Like that, you'll be habituate. You can feel very easy whenever you are going to have your third time practice or third time repetition. Definitely you may feel very easy with the content. So if you are going for the fourth time, so the complete information or the complete content is going to be memorized within your, or the complete information is going to be recorded within your memory level, memory power. Such like, so if you are going to give your original presentation on fifth time in front of public, how we are going to feel about the content, whether it is difficult or easy? Definitely you are going to feel easy with your content. Why? Because you have already become habituated to that particular content previously for 4 times. It's not for the first time you are facing that particular content. The whole content you have known very well about that whole content. You have known very well about the vocabulary which you are going to use in those sentences, and the whole information, the meaning of those sentences and words, everything completely have already recorded in your mind, so that whenever you are going to present it at the time of at the level of fifth, means after making practice for 4 times, if you are going to speak about the fifth time, definitely you'll be able to present within a good manner, within a good and effective manner. Such like the first 4 times should be like a practice. Should be like a practice. So see, for example, you are going to present about something. You have chosen a topic. You are going to present something in front of people for the first time. Within a hurry, you may collect the information. And for the first time, so immediately after collecting the information, if you are getting ready to present it in front of the people, definitely you will be alien to your information, whatever you have collected. You are going to be a new person with the data which you have already collected. Why? Because you don't have a good grip on your content, and you may not be able to understand few of those vocabulary words out of the content, and some sentences also you may not be able to understand. If you are directly going to present in front of the people after collecting the information, immediately after collecting the information, immediately if you are going to present it in front of people, definitely you may feel lot of difficulties. If not like that, before you are going to present it, or before you are going to give your original presentation, so if you are able to make it practice minimum twice and thrice, it will be very easy. So this practice can create a lot of confidence levels within you, within speaker. Why? Because he or she has already complete information. She has already a good knowledge. He has a good efforts on those lines and on those vocabulary words. They have a grip on the content which they have already collected. Then they can go for the presentation very easily with a good confidence levels, and ultimately their presentation will become as a successful presentation. So practice is more important. Ask others to listen to you and ask them to ask them to let you know the mistakes, whatever you are going to commit. And ask them to recognize your mistakes. So you can be able to modify your mistakes and talk to your mirror or record your presentation. You better to stand in front of a mirror and try to present your oral presentation. There you can be able to find out your body language mistakes and also some vocabulary mistakes and pronunciation mistakes, how we are pronouncing, what is the virginal pronunciation, what is the correct pronunciation, but how we are pronouncing, right? So all these things you'll be able to know yourself. And time your talk to make sure to it meets time guidelines, means try to maintain proper timings. For example, if you are going to provide for 50 minutes, if you are going to take 150 minutes, it is not good for your listeners. So, at the time of your practice only, try to maintain a particular time guidelines. If you have to finish it by 50 minutes, so keep your limits, keep your time limits. You have to be able to complete your presentation within 50 minutes. At the time of your practice only, you can practice the time limitations. You will be able to present your presentation within a good manner. So this is the importance of practice, planning, practice, and now the third stage is presentation. See, at the time of presentation, so here the same statement I have already given. After doing a lot of practice, at the time of your presentation, your intention will be like this. Within the statement, what is the statement? What do I already know? What I'm going to present? What do I know already? Nothing is new. So that by thinking like this, by maintaining this kind of positive attitude, you can be able to improve your confidence levels. You can be able to give your oral presentations within a good non-verbal manner, means within a good body language manner, and you can provide your presentation. You can present your oral presentations within a meaningful manner. So first thing is plan, practice, and presentation. So at the time of presentation, what are the things we must maintain at the time of presentation, right? So this is the process of planning your presentations, and these are the stages you must follow, and this is the practice, importance of the practice. So how you should make it practice, why you should make it practice, and the importance of practice. And this is the third stage of your presentation. While we are presenting, what are the things we must maintain? See, whenever you are going to present it, you just make your audience to feel comfortable. Don't make them feel uneasy. See, don't make them boredom. Don't make them to feel boredom, and don't make them to feel uneasy about your presentation. So make them feel comfortable and make them feel easy to understand your presentation. Okay, so it's your responsibility being a speaker, it is your responsibility to grab the attention of your audience. Don't make them to take deviations. It is your responsibility to grab their attention. Make your audience to be active listeners. Okay, keep your audience in a comfortable manner and grab their attention. Don't make them to take deviations. Okay, next, eye contact. You must maintain eye contact with your audience or with your listeners. How to maintain a proper eye contact, that we have already discussed earlier. Not only to a particular group of people. If you are having a full strength of crowd and full strength of area, so you have to maintain eye contact with each and everyone, to the corner to corner. And specifically, you must keep your presentation within a brief manner. Specifically, you must keep your presentation within a brief manner. Brief, it should be very brief, short and brief. Okay, simple, short, right? Whatever we are going to present, that should be able to understand by your listeners within a very easy manner. It should not be very critical to understand. And at the same time, while you are maintaining eye contact, maintain a friendly eye contact with your audience. Don't gaze at your audience. What is the difference between looking and what is the difference between gazing, right? These things that we have already discussed. So just maintaining a continuous eye contact without eyelid closing is called as gazing. And maintaining this eye contact with your audience within a friendly manner is called as a proper formal eye contact. Next, be aware of your body postures. Right. While we are discussing about non-verbal communication, there we have already discussed about postures. What are the right postures? What are the wrong postures? How you should stand, how you should not stand. So always we should not stand with closed postures. We should stand with open postures, right? So how to maintain a proper, good, appropriate and formal postures, that we have already discussed in the previous class whenever we were discussed about non-verbal communication. So try to maintain, be conscious about your non-verbal communication. Be conscious about your usage of your body language. Okay, so be aware of your body postures. Be enthusiastic about your topic. Don't try to be dull and don't try to be in a discouraging manner. Just you being a speaker, you must be an active person, and your topic, it must be an encouraging manner. Your topic should be presented within a encouraging manner. Okay, you being a speaker, you must make your listeners an active. Okay, so just encourage your audience, encourage your listeners, and you just try not to show unlimited enthusiasm. So try to be only try to be an active person. Okay, so be enthusiastic about your topic. Means so you must create your presentation within an enthusiastic manner, within a encouraging manner. So what he is going to mention in his next sentence, this topic is being very interesting. So making enthusiastic means your topic should be interesting to your audience. Next, always maintain smile on your face. Again, it should not be a laugh. The smile, the difference between smile and laugh, that we have already discussed. So maintaining a small smile and a friendly smile, a formal smile on your face, it will give comfortable to your audience. Always don't be rude, rush, and be very rejecting manner. Don't be in a rejecting manner. And your facial expressions are also very much important while you are interacting with your audience. Okay. While you are doing your presentation, these are the things you must follow. And also, slow down your speech. Generally, while you are giving your presentations, try to maintain moderate speed. Try to maintain moderate speed. Do not go very fast and do not go very slow. So why you must be able to make your audience to follow your thoughts and ideas, right? The minimum time of your presentation always it should be contains gap with seconds. Means a sentence by sentence. You can take a small pause of 5 to 10 seconds. Not more than that, not less than that. So a sentence by sentence, you can take a short gap of 5 to 10 seconds. Through that, your audience can be able to follow you. Next, use gestures to emphasize points. So according to the important points, you better to use your gestures. See, the previous point we were discussed about postures. Now this is about gestures. Posture means the way how we are standing. And here gesture means the way how we are using our hand movements. Right. If you are having any points to emphasize it, to highlight it, according to that, if it requires, you can use your hand movements. For example, just to make it highlight for the number 3. So three important stages in our topic, such like, so by showing your fingers or by showing your fingers like this, it can highlight your point, which can be able to understand by your audience very easily. By showing these kind of gestures, people at a time, they'll be able to listen and watch so that they can be able to understand very easily. So here you are highlighting the point, whatever it is important. Okay, so these are the points you must maintain while your presentation, right? So if you are going to give your oral presentation within a PowerPoint presentation method. If you are going to give your oral presentation within a PowerPoint presentation, what are the things you must follow? What are the basic things you must follow? So these are the things we are going to discuss. Anand, am I going fast? Anand?
Madam. Hello.
Am I going fast?
No, madam.
Okay, right. If you are going to present our topic, our speech with the help of PowerPoint presentation, how we have to present it, how to use PowerPoint presentation, right? You just have a glance on these points, you'll be able to understand. Build your slides last means don't give much importance to your slides. Here, the presenter is you. The presenter, you means here the presenter is a speaker, not the slides or not the PowerPoint. Ultimate importance is going to applicable to the speaker, not the slides. Slides are just a support to the speaker, right? In the previous class, we were discussed about visual aids. There, what I have mentioned, they are going to support you to enhance, or they're going to support you to make your audience to understand within a easy manner. But they are not going to be the presentators. Like that, your slides should not replace you. The important should be the least of your slides. Slides, they are going to help you as a visual supports. But the remaining content should be lead by you or by a speaker. Okay, do not try to replace it. Just before what I mentioned, never slide can replace the speaker's role. The speaker or the presenter must be able to present the content, whatever he has or whatever she has, that particular knowledge, whatever they have learned about that particular topic. They must be able to speak. They must be able to present in front group of people. The slides, they are just visual supports. They cannot read, they cannot speak, or they cannot present anything else. Ultimately, though you have taken the help of slides, only you are going to present it orally. Whether it is online presentation also, you are going to provide your oral presentation. So let not your slides replace you. Next, use a consistent theme. See, one by one, I have been making you to watch all my slides. From my first slide to till my last slide, the main theme is how to provide public speeches or oral presentations. That is my main theme. So you have to maintain a single theme throughout your presentation. Your presentation should not deviate slide by slide. If I give you one theme in this slide, if I going to give you another theme in this slide, if I going to give you another theme, right? You should not choose many themes. Whenever you are going to choose one theme, all the slides should be designed based on that particular theme. You should not maintain many themes in one presentation. From the starting to till the end of your presentation, you must maintain a single theme. Okay, next, one narrative per slide. Here, one theme, here one narrative means ideas should be different. For example, within this slide, my idea is to explain or to speak about the planning of your presentation, the planning of a speaker's presentation. That is one idea. Next, in this slide, my idea is to speak about practice. The previous slide is the previous slide's idea is present planning, this is practice, and this is presentation. Even plan, practice, presentation, all these three comes under public speeches. My main theme is public speech. My ideas are giving a slide by slide. Okay, such like you must be able to narrate your individual ideas by taking the help of individual slides. Next, fade to black when speaking. So whenever you are going to give it in a oral presentation manner, you just make your slides not to move one by one. Make it very, let it be not to move. Next, when in doubt, dump it. So if you have any doubt while you are explaining, you better not to explain, you better not to express your doubt in front group of people. If you have any doubts while you are giving presentations, you try to skip and later try to learn. So to avoid these kind of doubts, so that's why only in the previous slides we told you that you must be able to maintain you must be able to maintain a complete knowledge, a complete information on your topic. So if you have a complete information, if you are the expert on your chosen topic, definitely you won't get any doubts. So even though if you get any doubts, you just skip your doubt, dump it, means try to avoid it. Next, finally, I'm going to finish it. I'm going to finish. So by you just try to understand these do's and don'ts. They are very easy. So you see the do's. So far, whatever I have given the instructions, already do's are laid on that. Lies in it. Stand with confidence. If you have a good content, you can have a confidence levels. If you have enough practice, your confidence levels will be very fine. Project your voice. Try to maintain enough volume, audible volume, and plan your speech. Make eye contact and consider your audience. So all these things we must maintain. Next, so don't do's. Fidget. Fidget means don't stare at your people. Lean on anything. So maintain your proper posture, standing position. Don't lean. Don't stand on one leg. Don't swing. Read directly from your page. Don't read. Don't lean on anything. Don't fidget. And don't read directly the content. Try to explain the content within your oral presentation. Speak about your content. Don't read the content from your slides or from the pages. Don't use gaffling sounds. Don't use gaffling sounds in between your sentences or among the sentences. So these kind of gaffling sounds expresses that you are not having proper fluency, that you are not going to have a proper fluency. If you maintain gaffling sounds, so it will express us that you are not having good fluency. Next, don't stand in front of projectors. Right, at the same time, you should not stand or you should not hide yourself behind the screens or podiums. And at the same time, don't stand in front of the projectors. So you should stand aside of your screen. Don't hide, and don't be in front. Don't stand in front. Okay, always you should stand aside of your screen. Okay, so these are the things we must keep in our brain before we are going to participate in public speeches or before we are going to present oral presentations. Hope you all understand. Are you able to understand?
Yes, madam.
Okay, fine. We'll meet on tomorrow's lab. The lab is going to be on 9:30. So all of you get ready to switch on your videos. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day. You have any doubts?